Water is essential for life. At least 60% of the adult body is made of water, and every living cell in the body needs it to keep functioning. Water acts as a lubricant for our joints, regulates our body temperature through sweating and respiration, and helps to flush waste. The maximum time an individual can go without water seems to be a week. But 1 week is a generous estimate. 3 to 4 days would be more typical, especially in difficult conditions like broiling heat. Now, how did water availability affect the placement and success of a city? For a city to thrive, there are 2 main things that are crucial. The first thing that is required is commerce, the activity of buying and selling, especially on a large scale. The second thing that you need is sustainability, the ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level. Cities near water allow for water transportation, which is generally faster than land transportation. This is especially true in older times, such as before the invention of trains. Cities with access to water trading routes could deliver great amounts of goods for trades with other coastal cities, which meant more money and trade goods for both settlements and allowed for cultural mixing. On the other hand, landlocked cities were limited to trade routes only, which tended to be slower and in some cases more costly. All cities require food, and the more, the better. Along with agriculture, foraging, and hunting, coastal cities also had access to the flora and fauna that lived on water bodies next to them. Plus, the fresh, drinkable water is necessary for people to thrive, and building a city next to a freshwater source was a huge advantage over settlements built in other places. Moreover, water was also used as a waste disposal, which allowed cities to remain cleaner. Inland cities could only rely on agriculture, foraging, and hunting. Also, they had to look for their own water sources or build aqueducts to bring water to them. To further or earn knowledge and put what we know to the test, we have to travel back in time to some of the first and oldest cities that have ever existed. The first city we are going to talk about is the Egyptian city of Fayum. Fayum is a region known for its fertility and the abundance of plant and animal life. Fayum occupies an area on the Nile River and it's very close to the Fayum Oasis. Initially, the Fayum region was a lifeless basin, but because of the fresh water from the Nile River that was diverted in its direction, Fayum was transformed into a fertile garden. The rich soils from the Nile River sprouted vegetation along its banks, and this attracted animals. This is one of the reasons that the city of Fayum has been inhabited for thousands of years. The next city we're going to look at is the city of Luoyang, that's located in China at the intersection of the Luo and Yi rivers. Because of its location near water, Luoyang was perfectly positioned to control land and water transport throughout the region. This was an important fact considering tax collected from across the Chinese Empire was usually in the form of grain. Furthermore, it is said that Luoyang has been in habitation since Neolithic times, which is when agriculture first started, with a continuous habitation for at least 4,000 years. The last city we're going to look at is the city of Varanasi, which is located in India along the banks of the Ganges River. Varanasi was famous for its muslin and silk fabrics, perfumes, ivory works, and sculptures, and it soon grew as an important industrial center. It is said that Varanasi has the finest river frontage in India. An array of shrines, temples, and palaces rise tier on tier from the water's edge. According to Hindu legend, Varanasi is more than 5,000 years old, and it's considered one of the oldest cities in the world. Now, what are some common characteristics between these cities that made them all so successful throughout all these years? The main thing all these cities have in common is their water availability. Because they all have access to water resources, their commerce and sustainability are high. How about we connect our topic to Canada? How were some of the CMA cities in Canada influenced by their water availability? The first CMA city we're going to look at is Saint John, located in the province of New Brunswick. Saint John is the second largest city in New Brunswick and is right next to the Saint John River on the Bay of Fundy. Saint John's cityscape is largely dominated by its harbor and the river. Its early economy was mainly focused on timber trade and shipbuilding. Because of this, Saint John was quickly growing as a port. Over the years, Saint John's economic profile has maintained an emphasis on its traditional industries through its port and its shipbuilding. The next CMA city we are going to observe is Halifax, the capital of Nova Scotia. Halifax is the largest city in Nova Scotia, and it's located right next to the North Atlantic Ocean. Its regional municipality occupies a strategic and central location on the province's east coast and is one of the world's largest harbors. Additionally, its port is closer to Europe and Southeast Asia than any other North American East Coast port. Halifax's availability to water allows many industries, such as fishing, to thrive. Fishing harbors are located all along coastal areas, and lots of Halifax's economy is based on its port and fishing. Both of these two cities are mainly based on their port, and throughout these years, their access to the water has helped them thrive and have importance. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay hydrated.